Hello everyone, I finally got it. The 2020 San Diego Comic-Con canceled exclusive from Mega Construx for Halo Infinite. A pack of figures in special edition packaging. It was, of course, not available at San Diego Comic-Con because San Diego Comic-Con did not occur, so they sold these online, and almost all of them immediately went to scalpers. Well-organized scalpers, the scourge of, well, one of many scourges of 2020 that companies really need to come up with a solution to, because it's really bad. Let's not even talk about the Xboxes and the PS5s. But let us talk about this instead. I did get one for a somewhat reasonable aftermarket price. It has the Chief armor on the packaging, including around the sides, around the back, and awkwardly, the top just has the lack of anything. So it's just a black matte portion of a circle there. And underneath, they've got a battery box because this actually has a light built into it. And that is a Cortana AI chip. Well, not necessarily specifically Cortana, but this is for Chief, so it would be for Cortana. And I'm just going to get straight into opening it up. Haven't used this knife in a while. It just has a couple of tabs on the underside, and the packaging is a big deal with this. It's one of the major things, like what they've done previously. So, actually makes sense to do the unboxing as part of this, and as you can see, this is new to me. I've not even seen what you're seeing right now as yet, but I'll get you a closer look at that. But one last thing I want to do before I do that is pull that out so that the batteries will be activated. And in here, yeah, they made this easy to get the chip out, which, oh, again, I'll give you a closer look at this, but this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. This is just a printed tile. It looks really good though. Looks really good. So the idea is that you stick this into a slot in the front, and you're going to see it before I do. Stick this in there. Did it turn on? Did it turn on? Not yet, not yet. Go a little bit farther in, maybe. I think I'm missing the slot. I think I'm missing the spot. Either that or the temporary batteries are not working properly. Oh, wait. I think I got the angle. Yeah, there we go. I just needed to angle it down a little bit. Yeah, let me give you a closer look at this. I can see just a little bit of a preview of it. Oh, that is done nicely because they actually have LED lights behind the little tabs down at the bases of the figure's feet, little cardboard tabs, I'm assuming. They have lights behind each one. I thought there was just going to be a row of them along the front, but every figure has its own lighting from underneath. So that's a lot nicer than it even needs to be. And then there's one additionally for the special edition micro Cortana there. So this is just showing you their current take on all of the Master Chief versions, all the major versions from the games up to this point. I really don't want to open this up. I really don't want to take all those figures out because of the way that they're posed all nicely, but it is designed to be reusable. So this is all non-destructive packaging to get in there. Yeah, these all have little tabs and things rather than using tape. So all of these bits can be replaced, and these are just stands, it looks like. Yeah, just stands. Plain black, which is fine for your figures. You can see just from shipping around from place to place, these have kind of come out of their little spots just a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, not a problem at all. Pretty well done. It's not as nice as the Halo 5 thing, in my opinion, but you do have more here, more figures. And specially detailed, exclusive weapons as well. So I will take these off one by one. I also wanted to follow through on my promise to show you this a little bit better. The chip. There we go. See, it's just a tile. It's a, what is that? A 3x4. Sorry, a little hair there, but 3x4 tile with a print on top, including the metallic silver and the gold. There's also this insert, which I'm assuming will be, oh, it actually does have the normal Mega Construx like instructions stuff with it. But does this open? Yes, it does, right here. There we go. So that's giving you the details of each individual one with computer renderings there to show it in its best possible form. Nice. So I don't even need to worry about getting any of this wrong because they've listed them all out properly. I will say right up front, the Halo 3 and 4 Chiefs look like they have a little bit too much dry brushing on them of the silver. They look a little too silver metallic to me. So here's the whole lineup in chronological order. I believe this is correct here, from CE to Infinite. I will tell you, if you have this set and you haven't unboxed it yet, or if you're planning on getting this set, make your choice up front and then stick to it of whether to keep the figures in there on display or to take them out. Don't waffle on it. Don't flip-flop on it. Make your decision and then stick to it, because I'll tell you, taking these out carefully in a non-destructive way is a project unto itself. Not something that you want to have to go back and undo, putting these back into the box. So I'm going to be leaving these out on display. I'll keep the box all closed up in its original form, but yeah, I wanted to be able to see these more closely myself. But if you have any question with yourself as to whether to display them out like this or keep them in the box, make the choice and then stick to it, because you're not going to want to undo it either way. CE Chief here got the Magnum, and that has a light gunmetal gray paint application on it. All of these have washes and or dry brushing. This one has just a wash. And do note that the washes are applied after the figure is completely assembled. Thus, the joints may be sticky, or may be seized up a little bit, kind of like Chief if he makes a jump from too high up, like he always does. Be especially careful with the heads, the inner body piece, the neck joint that's actually inside of the head can be broken off if you're not careful with it. They've made them a lot stronger these days than they used to be, but yeah, just do be aware of that. And I put Cortana on this one, not necessarily because it matches. I just wanted to start with her, get that out of the way quickly so you're not waiting for it. It's not really a CE version of Cortana. It's more of a 4 version of Cortana, I would say. We might get her back. I mean, a little bit of it in 5, but it to me, it feels most like a 4 one. Anyway, it's either 4 or 5, or it could be in Infinite. Anyway, I expect to see a different color for her in Infinite, to be honest. But yeah, this is the CE version of Chief. Got the wash on it, and it looks pretty good to me, except for the flat top. I will not get over how flat the helmet is. You either see it or you don't. A lot of people have seen it and said, yeah, when I look at regular Chief, actual in-universe version of him from any source material, it's not that flat. And no, they're not trying to go for a low poly version of him or something. They're trying to be accurate, and it's just too flat and wide on the top. But otherwise, this is well produced. After the lone Mark V, everything else is Mark VI, different versions of Mark VI, and this is a Halo 2, probably more of a Halo 2 anniversary version of Chief, and they went with the objectively correct choice of dual-wielded SMGs for this one. If there's any choice to make, that is the correct one for a representative set of armaments for Halo 2 Chief, so good on them for that. It's a dark gray undersuit, and the weapons have a little bit of silver applied to them to show some of their details. Just a plain wash over this, using the exact same base color as the CE one. I'm fine with that. I thought that the green looked a little bit too bright in official images, including the renders, but no, it's not that bad. It doesn't stand out, it doesn't pop too much. So I'm actually okay with this. I personally would have liked to see something just a little bit darker, but with the wash, this works out okay. My favorite thing here by far is the helmet and the paint applications on that helmet. The hand applied details are spot on. They are so good. This is close up, stop motion kind of good. And also, if I'm not mistaken, they've got a polychromatic thing going on for the helmet here, which I don't think I've seen them do before. As viewed from the front, it's a little bit more orange. As viewed from the side, it's a little bit more gold. Maybe you can see it right there. It's a little bit more gold. Here it's a little bit more orange. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, happy with this one. Actually like this one better than the CE one for what it is. Halo 3 Chief goes much, much darker and less saturated for the armor pieces, and this one gets a lot of dry brushing. And some very thin dry brushing, thankfully, but they did apply what material they had. They applied it very, very liberally to the whole thing, and I really feel like it's too much. But it's not too much like the some of the blue team figure packs were. You know, some of those were just really, really overdone. This is acceptable to me, but you can see the difference in green. It's not the exact same green, I believe, between the Splazer, the paint applications on that, which are excellent, and the armor pieces, but just the amount of metallic sheen that it has on it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of the contrast there. Once again, the helmet is done pretty well. Yeah, it's masked off pretty nicely. In addition to the dry brushing, there are some little bits of battle damage that were hand applied to the torso there. And the armor set, I think, looks really good. I think the level of detail on that is very good. Got some additional paint applications around the back that are fairly fine, like right up in there. That's done a little bit separately, I believe, with some gunmetal gray, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what I'm seeing. But yeah, this is well done. I wish it was a little bit brighter green and had a little bit less dry brushing on it. But it's better to have a little bit too much than a lot too much, and better to have a little bit too much than none at all. So not a failure in my opinion, just could have been better. But this Blazer is awesome, even though it is, a modern version. Modern, it's a little bit thicker. I think it's a little bit more like a Halo 5 Splazer mold, but still, it looks fantastic, and it's done pretty perfectly. Wake up, Chief. Time to do this all over again. This is the welcome to the 343 era Halo 4 Chief. Same color, same level of dry brush application, a little bit of battle damage as well, but the updated armor set, most obvious in, well, depending upon how much of a fan you are, it's most obvious around the shoulders and in the chest, or with the shoulder plates themselves. So when I said around the shoulders, it's actually more around the neck. For me, these are the ones that I always look for from a distance to distinguish between 3 and 4 if they've gone with the same color scheme like they have, except for the visor on this one. The visor on this one is more orange, so more of the red got sprayed in on top of there. They chose the railgun to be a representative weapon. I might have gone for a Promethean weapon, but I understand the desire to keep it all in the family with the UNSC stuff. So this one's not bad. I mean, a Hydra would have been nice as well, but railgun's probably a good choice, and that is very well done. Machine masked version of that, not hand painted to my knowledge, as far as I can tell. But this looks pretty good. Again, no, I think this looks a little bit more like the source material than the 3 version did. I think this is a well done figure. This one can stand on its own as a good representation. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. The details, the special details that are put into the helmet here, you can see are very subtle because of how dark the green is, and because of all the eye confusing brush marks that go all over the place. But it does have some nice small details that were carefully applied on there, that if you look very carefully and very closely, they matter. They are visible, and they make you feel like this is something that is special. It's particularly well done for its size. The Halo 5 Guardians version of Chief goes back to the other color of green, the lighter color of green, and this one also has the green undersuit, as you can see most prominently around the neck and the shoulders. Why did that happen in universe? I never looked that up, why we have the differences between those two, but it's good that they did key in on some important changes here. But I think that the contrast in color between this one and the Halo 4 version is too much. Contrast in color and the amount of metallic sheen to it. Yeah, they really, really stand out to me too much. Especially the helmet on this one with all the silver on it. Just looks, I don't know, looks like it follows different art direction altogether. Whereas in universe, I feel like they were closer to each other. The energy sword is a new exclusive paint application for that. It's masked off. It is opaque, unfortunately, so it's not fully translucent. I mean, it's printed on a translucent clear piece. So from some angles, you can see some of the translucency, but I personally don't like how opaque it is, and I prefer ones that are that you're able to shine light all the way through. Otherwise, this one does show you the details better because of the colors, and you can especially see the marks on the helmet better, where they applied the black and also the little silver dots on the sides as well. Yeah, it just lets you appreciate the details better, I think. I'm not a fan of the weapon here, but the figure is pretty good, and it is unique. You know, amongst all the Chiefs that they have done, there is none that is exactly like this. And finally, the Infinite version, the Mark 6 Gen 3, they're calling it here, with some callbacks, in my opinion, some callbacks to a little bit of Mark 5, a little bit of Halo, like Forward Unto Dawn, right? With the chest armor there, that variant of it. Yeah, I think this is a handsome looking figure with the way that the shoulder armor is shaped. He looks more sleek. He looks taller, even though the figure's using the same base body underneath. Just looks more athletic to me personally. And this is a very bright colored one. I am actually not happy with how bright this is. I feel like it needed to be desaturated a bit. It just stands out. Even with that wash, and there's quite a bit of it, especially down in the legs. Those are extra bright. They just didn't get as much of the wash sticking to them. And as a result, it just looks a little bit too toyish to me. I feel like this one should have gotten more attention. And then the rifle is the new one for Infinite. They've actually got some very, very matte battleship gray that's applied to that. This is a machine masked one with spray applications. That's the MA, what is it called? MA 40 now, 40. And a logical evolutionary progression from the Reach version. And this one does have a barrel that can have things attached to it, like the little muzzle flash pieces and such. And you can also attach optics to it. This one does not come with the extra counter piece on it, which makes sense to me. You don't want to include that tiny of a part with something like this, especially the way that they've done the packaging. But the helmet here looks great. The 117 right there on the chest is printed nicely. It's not perfect, which is good in my opinion. Like it looks like it's sprayed on through a stencil. So that's good. I just wish that the green was not so bright. A little less yellowish, or at least less saturated. A little bit darker. Right, so that's that. I don't think I have much to say about this set in terms of a summary or anything. It's really the sum of its parts. I think that it's a very nice tribute to the series, to go back through history as we prepare to move into the next step, the next evolution of the Halo franchise from a gameplay perspective. The whole release thing, how, again, almost all of the units were snatched up by scalpers, really sucks. And again, companies really need to work on fixing that major problem that affects not just us in the brick-built construction, toy or collectibles fan world, but many fandoms. It's a major issue that has absolutely exploded this year opportunistically. I have a feeling that a lot of us regular consumers are not going to like some of the solutions that companies come up with for dealing with that, but it does need to be dealt with, and it's one of the major things that I felt painted and coated the release of this product in particular, which I personally was pretty excited about. And I know a lot of people out there were excited about. Of course, we've been disappointed by all the pushbacks of the release date of Infinite itself, but I do feel like once it finally does come out, it will be good and we will enjoy it. There may be some hiccups at first, but I think it'll end up being pretty darn good. That's that. If you have any comments that you would like to share, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll move on to the next thing and talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.